Hey friends, tonight we're setting sail into the grimy, chaotic, surprisingly organized world of pirates. But before you go grabbing your eye patch and yelling, "Arrr, let's get something straight," you? Yeah, you wouldn't last a single day. And honestly, neither would I. This isn't some Disney cruise with sword fights and catchy sea shanties. Real pirates were broke, brutal, and just a little bit disgusting. Think less Johnny Depp. More, I haven't bathed in 14 weeks, and I just lost a toe to scurvy. So before we dive in, don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe, and drop a comment telling me whether you'd survive pirate life, or if you'd nope out the moment your dinner started crawling off your plate. Now hoist the sails, tighten your bandana, and prepare yourself for 5 absolutely wild truths about pirates. And why being one was way less freedom and rum, and way more, why does everything smell like rotting fish? 1. Let's start with hygiene, or the complete and utter lack of it. Pirates didn't bathe, not because they were too busy plundering, but because bathing just wasn't a thing. Fresh water was for drinking, or more accurately, for not dying. If you used it to wash your armpits, the crew would probably make you walk the plank just out of principle. Instead, pirates marinated in a thick glaze of sweat, salt, fish guts, and regret. Clothes? Rarely washed. Hair? Tangled. Teeth? Mostly missing. Breath? Like a punch in the face from a pickled octopus. And don't even get me started on their underwear situation. Actually, scratch that. They didn't have any. So next time you complain about camping without a hot shower, imagine living on a floating wooden stink box with 60 other unwashed dudes, and exactly 1 bucket for everything. Still want to be a pirate? 2. Pirate ships were basically floating torture chambers. Ever try sleeping during a thunderstorm? With 18 people in your room? Pirates did that every night, except instead of thunder, it was cannon fire, snoring, and the occasional rat crawling across your face. The ships were cramped. And by cramped, I mean, if you stood up too fast, you'd knock yourself out on a beam. Hammocks were strung up like tangled spaghetti. And if you had personal space, it meant you were probably dead. Toilets? Nope. There was a plank, literally. A piece of wood with a hole in it, hanging over the ocean. Imagine doing your business with the wind howling, waves crashing, and the constant fear that one wrong move means your last words are, "Wait, no, I'm not done yet." Plus, the smell. The boat reeked of sweat, salt water, bilge, and whatever was rotting in the food barrels that week. You know it's bad when even the rats start leaving. 3. The food was a crime against humanity. You're probably thinking pirates lived off roast pig and barrels of rum. And yeah, there was rum. But mostly to distract from the fact that the food was edible in the legal sense only. Picture this. You wake up starving. And breakfast is a slab of salt pork that's more salt than pork. And harder than your boots. Or maybe it's hardtack, a delightful biscuit made of flour, water, and despair. Oh, and surprise, it's full of weevils. But don't worry, the pirates just ate them too. Extra protein, they said. Crunchy, they lied. Fresh food? Only if Neptune personally delivered it to your hammock. Fruit? Fantasy. Vegetables? You'd have a better chance finding Wi-Fi in the middle of the ocean. And forget refrigeration. Spoilage was part of the meal plan. If your stew didn't make your stomach cry for mercy, it it was considered a win. 4. Now we arrive at scurvy, the ultimate pirate party crasher. Scurvy happened when you didn't get enough vitamin C, which pirates never did. No citrus, no veggies, just months of hardtack and hope. The result? Gums that bled like a horror film. Teeth falling out mid-sentence, joints swelling. Weird bruises showing up like you got in a fight with your own skeleton. One minute you're singing a shanty, the next your leg doesn't work, and your eyes bleeding for no reason. Pirates feared scurvy more than cannonballs. At least cannonballs were fast. Eventually, captains caught on and started rationing limes. That's why British sailors were called limeys. But before that, crews just got weird and fell apart. Sometimes, literally. 5. Pirate democracy was real, but so were the brutal rules. Surprisingly, pirate crews had rules, like actual written codes. Pirate ships were more democratic than most 18th century governments, which is both inspiring and terrifying. The crew voted on who got to be captain, how treasure was divided, and even when to mutiny. It was democracy, but with more rum and fewer teeth. But break the rules, it was game over. Theft from a fellow pirate? You'd lose an ear or a hand. Desertion? Whipping. And yes, marooning is exactly what it sounds like. Dumped on a deserted island, with nothing but your guilt and maybe a bottle of water, if they were feeling generous. So yeah, pirates had freedom. But it came with a side of constant paranoia and brutal consequences. So, yeah, can't be a pirate. You'll either freeze to death, die of scurvy, or fall into the ocean with poop. Real pirates weren't sexy. They were disgusting, sick, violent maniacs who smelled like tainted shrimp. And yet somehow, they managed to become legends. Hit the like button, subscribe for more stories, and drop a comment. What would be the first thing you'd do if you had to become a pirate?